Your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Stephen Bowers.
All right, I'm doing some traveling this week, going to Scotland and Ireland, and I leave first thing in the morning with some of you, and so I want to make sure we're ready for this. Now, we land at about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and that's about the time when we've got some rain and some wind around up at Edinburgh and Scotland there. Expect occasional wind-blown rain. There's going to be some gusty wind at times, and we're cool with mostly 50s for highs and upper 40s to lower 50s for morning lows, and at times wind chills can be down in the 30s and 40s, and it's a humid cold, so it's going to have a little bit more of a bite to it than the cold here typically does when we don't really have that much humidity. But that windblown rain is worth mentioning as I step you through these next couple of days here across Ireland and Scotland. And I really want to bring home that windblown rain because if you're fighting an umbrella and it turns inside out, it's not doing you much good. And I say that to say a poncho or a good rain jacket might be the better alternative or maybe a complement to that umbrella. So there we go, looking here between now and the weekend, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at the airport. There's a view of the satellite right now and a few showers showing up on radar over the mountains, but some high clouds right over the top of us. They don't have any rain with them, but they are associated with this low pressure that's swirling to the north here. This is right along the Montana and Wyoming state line, and it's scooting off to the east, but it is worth mentioning that this cold front is going to end up tracking more to the south very slowly but surely. And as it tracks to the south, a new little low pressure wave develops along this, slows it down a little bit more, at least on our end of it, and then finally this is going to move through, and when it does, it's going to open the door for some cooler air to come down the east side of that high pressure into Wednesday and Thursday especially. That's when we're really going to feel that. But that low pressure tomorrow evening with that kind of secondary cold front that comes through behind it is going to kind of help to maybe bring a couple of showers to us as well. So let's talk about that. We'll start with this evening, of course, where we have these high clouds thinning out and breaking up. Will become mostly clear. But by morning, we've got more clouds over northwestern Colorado and perhaps a couple of showers up around Craig, Meeker, perhaps even over toward Dinosaur. That's possible throughout the day, but from noon on, our clouds are increasing for the central and southern parts of the western slope, and we can get a couple of showers. Most of this stays over the mountains to the east of us, but after about 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, we get a couple of little stray showers that sneak by from Grand Junction to Delta to Montrose, and then by 10 o'clock to midnight, this shifts back to the mountains. We can get a couple of snowflakes up on some of the high peaks up close to Leadville and Aspen, but that's on its way out, and we're finished with it by Wednesday morning. So it's a brief, very small chance for a couple of showers, and more of us stay dry than not. So tomorrow we have more sun in the morning, more clouds in the afternoon, and then that chance for a few showers in the early part of the evening. Then from 9, 10 o'clock on, we're clearing out quickly. During the day, we'll still manage to warm into the lower and middle 80s. There are those high clouds we talked about with some blue sky, kind of salt and peppered in between. 82 degrees is the temperature at the airport right now. We'll gradually step down from those 80s through the 70s, and we'll be in the lower 70s at 9 o'clock, with lows by morning near 56 degrees around Grand Junction and closer to 50 or 51 around Delta and Montrose. And then it's mid to upper 40s from about Glade Park and Nucla south through the Cortez area. Then tomorrow, we're back into the lower and middle 80s. Some cooler 60s and 70s are possible up there in the higher elevations. In Grand Junction, expect 83 degrees. And then we'll cool back to upper 70s on Wednesday and Thursday with morning lows in the lower 50s. And then from Friday on, we warm the afternoons back to the lower 80s, and the mornings will step up to mid 50s. So we're still cool, but at least pretty close to where we should be for this time of year. In Montrose, expect 80 degrees tomorrow. And then it's mid 70s for your Wednesday and Thursday with morning lows in the mid 40s. Then from Friday on, we warm back to the upper 70s in the afternoons and lower 50s for those morning lows. In Delta, we're looking at high temperatures tomorrow near 86 degrees. Expect lower 80s for Wednesday and Thursday. Middle 80s are back from Friday on. Those morning lows will be in the mid to upper 40s through the rest of this week, and then low to mid 50s from the weekend and beyond. And then in Cortez, 81 will be the high tomorrow, and then we're near or just shy of 80 degrees from Wednesday through Monday. Morning lows are going to be in the lower and middle 40s.